Hey crafty friends, happy Friday. I'm Carla from Carla Arlene Creations, and today we're continuing our Summerween projects, and we are going to be making a Cricut project today instead of a printable. Today we are going to be making the Spooky Flower Lantern. Isn't this cool? This is so cool. And if you look, you can see little eyes on the flowers. I didn't put them on all of them, but I put them on some of them. And the other side is just the same. And you don't want to forget, put your battery operated tea light or fairy lights in these. So let's get started, and I'll show you how to assemble your Spooky Flower Lantern. Okay, so we're going to start with several different pieces here just to start getting stuff glued together, because there's some overlay pieces on some of this. So I'm going to start with the panels, and I'm going to go ahead and glue the vellum onto the panels so that they can be drying. So I'm just going to put glue around the edge here. And then I am going to put some, like a little bit across, because I do want this to kind of adhere to the vellum so that it doesn't poof out. Not sure if that's a word, but it is today. Let's see. So, see? That way it's a little bit flat on the vellum and not sticking out, as you can see. And there are 6 panels, each one, there's 2 of each one that I created to go with this fun theme. And actually, when I was designing this particular SVG, Brett helped me with some of the details that went into this. So there's a little bit of his help in creating this design, as we wanted to make it something different. And we both love Halloween. Fall season is our favorite because of the colors and the holidays. And both of us actually have birthdays in the fall, so it works out well. And he actually picked out orange vellum for this. If you want to use yellow, that would be fine. I definitely would not use like gray or like the white or whatever. I think this will make it more spookified. And as you can see, I did glue the spider down because I did not want it sticking out. There is a lot of intricate details that you're going to see in the main base of this lantern. It's in the shape of a pumpkin, but we added some pieces onto the side of the pumpkin just to make it different. Let's see here. We're going to let those dry. Next we're going to glue together, let's see here, some of our flowers. I love how these flowers came out. These are very cool spooky flowers to me. You'll notice there are two large ones because we are putting flowers on both the front and the back of this lantern. So, and as you can see, each flower has two pieces to it. So we're just going to go ahead and put glue on the back of this. You may need a weeding tool to pull out some of the pieces in the flowers and other pieces of this design, as you'll see. Because sometimes they don't all come out with taking them off the mat. And speaking of taking things off of the mat, you're going to want to be very, very careful in taking pieces off of your mat once they're cut out, because some of them, like the panels and some other pieces, are very delicate. So quite a bit of this was cut out using medium cardstock with intricate details, for the simple reason that there are a lot of intricate details in this design, which makes it more fun. Let's see here. Okay, so there's a front side and a back side of that. Kind of have to like line flowers up with sizes and stuff here. Let's see here. These look like little ones. We go with possibly not that one. That goes with the green one. Yeah, you'll have to line up things before you start gluing because you want to make sure you're gluing them on the right pieces. I think it's still a pretty flower. There we go. Okay, so we got through the flower pieces. And yes, there were a lot. Alright, so the base pieces actually have, they're all different. I'll tell you that now. But they all have little places that need leaves. So, and they need them on the front and the back. So we're going to just plop some glue on here. And the leaves are all the same. And the reason I used this color as we felt that this was more Halloween-y than a pretty spring green. So, and that is the only thing that gets glued on this is the leaves on the front and on the back, because you're going to see both sides. So, we'll put the leaf there, and let's see here, we'll put one here. So there's that piece. And then this is another one of the side pieces. And this one has pumpkins and leaves. Let me find my here. Because my pumpkins didn't all, pieces didn't all come out, so we're just going to glue these little fellas on top. Like that. And then I'll do the same over here. Put some glue on and glue him on. There we go. Now we need to put our leaves on. So we're going to dab some glue here and there. And like I told you earlier, be careful taking this off of the mat because these pieces are delicate, to say the least, and you don't want them to rip. I actually used my spatula tool and my fingernails to get them off the mat, so luckily I always have fingernails. So we're just going to put some glue on the back and glue these little things. This design is actually, and you'll see on the next piece why I say that, giving me some ideas for something else I could create that would be like maybe a building or something for Halloween. I really would like to get into making some 3D buildings eventually. I've actually got a couple in design, but I've not finished the designs. But I think this would be cool to do like the viney stuff with the pumpkins coming off, and maybe the spider web like you see on this. I think would be cool on the side of the building. I think it would be very, very cool. So this is the main piece of the lantern, and as you can see, it also has the green leaves, and we're going to go ahead and glue these ones on. And the other reason I thought it would be cool maybe to make a building using some of the pieces out of this was because of these lanterns. I think these are cool. Wasn't sure how they were going to look, but I really like how they came out, and I can actually add more coloring to them than just making them everything purple on the lantern like I did on this. But I think these would be cool, like on the front of a building, you know, the lights. So who knows what I'll come up with by next year. Got lots of time to design between now and then. Okay, we're going to flip this over and go ahead and put the leaves on and the lanterns on this side. Okay. And then we're going to start doing the fun part of putting this all together. There's that. Yeah, I think these, or a carriage, that would be cool. Make a carriage with this stuff on it. That would be cool. As you can tell, I love Halloween. I'll admit it. Okay, so these pieces that we have here, let's see. Yep. So one of these is going to go this way. Yeah, and then the other one's going to go behind. So they actually go the same way, but they go on the opposite sides of this. This is, like I said, the middle piece. So we're going to just, I'm going to put some glue on here. And as you can see, I just put it at the bottom because I'm not putting the top on the other side yet. So I don't want to stick glue on there and have it all in my glass mat. So I'm just going to pick this up, and this kind of goes in here. Let's see here. We're just going to pull that little black piece out front a little bit. Let's see. So we're going to turn this around. And let's make sure we have this going the right direction. Okay. So we're going to put glue on here. So as you can see, this little piece here is not in between these. I did pull it out. So there's that. And now let's see here. Trying to look at my design, because I'll be honest, sometimes I design this stuff and then I'm doing a video and I'm like, okay, where goes what? And I'm sure I'm not the only one. Okay, so we're going to have some of our spooky vine stuff here. And a piece here. And then there's like 4 pieces go on each side. We're going to have a piece here. And one over here. And honestly, there is no right or wrong way to do this. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. So we're just going to take some glue and we're going to glue this down so that we can start gluing flowers on. So I'm just putting glue on the vein. And then I'm going to glue this down like that. So, one thing I forgot to do whenever I was gluing my flowers was to make sure that the one set was the opposite of the other set. So, my flowers are all going the same way. So what I did is I recut out the fronts of the flowers, and that's the purple pieces, and I'm just going to flip them over. I believe that's what I need to do. Maybe not. Oh, let's see here. Yes, I'm going to flip them over and glue them on the backs, because it really doesn't matter if you, because you're not going to see the back when I get done. So And this will be the new front. If that makes sense, I hope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, so as I got my glue here to work, so I'm going to glue these fronts on the backs, which should have been the fronts. And that way I can put them on my flowers here. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this over and we're going to put little pieces of foam dot stuff. If you know me, you know I like to use the extra pieces. And we're going to make it so we can get these flowers on here and it'll look three-dimensional. And then we can glue our bats on. So we're just going to glue a bat on there. And one on here. Then we're going to turn this over. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So. Okay, I think we're done with glue for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these two pieces together. If I can get them picked up. What is the problem? Oh, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these two pieces and we're going to put this in there and then we're going to fold this down so we can get it past. And there we go with that. And then this, and you have to remember this is a little heavy. I'm going to put down in the bottom and then we're going to curve this over and put this in. Okay, so there we go. And we can open this up and add these centerpieces in. I'm probably going to have to hold the top just so that it's, because it is top heavy. Let's see here. We're just going to lay it down for a little bit. Try and get these where they need to be. Okay, and now we need to put the top one in. So okay, and there, let's see. And now we can add these in. And don't forget, you can add fairy lights in the center to make this all light up. And there you go. There is your Spooky Flower Lantern. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make your own Spooky Flower Lantern. You can find the download link in the description of the video below on where you can download this SVG. You can also, like I did, add eyes to it, and like I told you in the video where I messed up on the flowers, the only flowers that actually have to be done in reverse, and I have them in the pattern all to be done in reverse, is the top 3. But you can do them all in reverse like I have in the pattern. But yeah, if you get confused like I did in assembling them, just make sure the top 3 are opposite of the ones on the opposite side. Other than that, it really doesn't matter because you're not going to see those through from one side to the other. These have to line up with this. So, but I hope you enjoy making your own Spooky Flower Lantern, and I look forward to crafting with you again. Happy crafting!